Brie Larson was once told that she would become the new face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man fulfilled his role in said cinematic universe. Brie Larson was told that she would be ushered in as the next Iron Man of a massive media franchise. And boy, oh boy, was that a lie, especially when it comes from a movie series regarding a character that nobody liked and regarding a story that no one could actually follow through on and enjoy because of how abysmally written it was and how poorly connected every scene in that film was to another. Brie Larson may actually be leaving the MCU due to certain amounts of backlash coming from both fans and critics alike when it comes to her most recent film, The Marvels. At the time of this recording, that movie's only made at the box office about $120 million. Now, if you take into account the fact that Disney and Marvel are only getting about 40 to 50% actual money return on each ticket sale, that means that they've only made about 70 to 85 million dollars back on a movie that probably cost upwards of $350 million to get into the theaters when you account for marketing and production costs together. That's a pretty abysmal return on investment, and it definitely shows that this movie is quite a significant flop over every other movie that's been a flop in Marvel's recent history. I'm going to go ahead and read a quote from an interview that someone had regarding Brie Larson and her potentially leaving the studio, if I can find it. There's a bunch of crap in here. All right. This might be where we're looking at. Oh, come on. There it is. I'm going to read from the top of the paragraph. It says, and even in the interview with the Watch podcast, Robinson explained that what she wrote in her book. She revealed that Larson reportedly wants to stop playing Captain Marvel. She said Marvel Studios put Brie Larson in a prominent place in the MCU. I don't know if Brie Larson was the wrong person for the role necessarily, but the toxic backlash means that Brie Larson doesn't want to play the role of Carol Danvers anymore. Though Robinson's statement, it looks like the negative backlash on the film took a toll on Marvel's lead actress. And can you blame her? She was given a crappy script, obviously given crappy direction, because yes, Brie Larson can be a fine actress. She's been in movies that I have liked in the past, and she's been relatively good at acting in several movies. Now, she's been more delegated in terms of non-dramatic roles, so a movie that stars a character where that character loses their memory and they have to have this earth-shattering moment where they finally understand who they are and what they come from. She wasn't necessarily the best role for that, but even if she wasn't the best person for that role, what she could have been given was better direction and a better script. If it was a better script but poor acting, people would have liked the story more. If it was better acting with a poor script, people would have liked the acting and craved for more of the actual character, but they wouldn't have wanted the same writers on the movie. The problem is that you had a bad combination of bad direction, bad acting, bad publicity, and bad writing. Don't forget that this is the same person who told the main fan base of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, heterosexual white men, that the movie that they were going to go and pay for in order to watch was not made for them, and that they should be put in their place. And a man should not share his opinion on a movie if it stars a woman because he's a man, which is quite a sexist take, if you ask me. And it seems as though the bad publicity has only gotten worse as time has gone on, and it seems as though these movies that Brie Larson's been a part of in the MCU have only gotten more and more bad publicity going forward. Does she have a right to leave the projects that she's working in? Of course she does. She should find a more profitable outlook on something, a more profitable outlet, and actually find a way to make money in Hollywood again, rather than relying on the coattails of a dying cinematic universe that has been floundering ever since Endgame came out. Let's not forget that except for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man No Way Home, every movie that has come out from Marvel after Endgame has been a flop. If you look at the financial records behind each film, and has been critically panned as some of the worst movie experiences that a person can endure because of how bad the writing is. Maybe not by the critics, but by the vast majority of fans. A lot of people have hated the direction that Marvel has taken in recent years, and it's only gotten worse, and The Marvels is one of those things that shows the epitome of how bad a story can get. But I want your guys' thoughts. What do you think about this? Does Brie Larson have a good point in leaving a dying franchise? Should Marvel continue the path they're on and just burn out until no one watches them or supports them and they die as a company, or should they course correct? I would prefer if they course corrected because I love those characters, but at the same time, I'm getting a lot of bad superhero storytelling fatigue from these mainstream media outlets, and I'm not a fan of watching my favorite characters be run through the ringer over and over again and again and destroyed by identity politics and bad writing. Bad writing more than identity politics, because bad writing just comes from a place of being bad at your job. Nevertheless, I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the week.